You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
This week on Myopia Defend Your Childhood. Myopia Defend Your Childhood is so named because I believe we are short-sighted on the things we watched as kids. So every week we watch a movie that one of the panelists grew up watching and see if they hold up, from comedy to cartoons or to action. And for this season, the last Thursday of each month, we're doing a TV show in our Myopia Mornings segments. We watch Saturday morning cartoons and afternoon classics. So find us on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. How will you stand when we put your past on trial? Myopia Defend Your Childhood is a member of the ESO Network and produced by Dude Letter Podcasting.
So I finally saw Avengers Endgame. 3 hours long, bladder bursting. Not happy that there was no post-credits scene. Very pissed off at that, but did it leave me satisfied? Yes. Did I have problems with certain aspects? Yeah, I did. The big thing that I was really like, really? Look, pointing at the screen, you're doing this now, is the Infinity Stones. Hulk can hold it. Rocket had it, but he had a container for it, and that made sense. Iron Man picked up the Tesseract, so I'm like, that shouldn't have happened in the first place. That's probably one of the biggest, I'm not going to say errors, but it was the biggest misstep that, for the sake of the story, you had to let them now do this, as opposed to previous times when someone used or held the Infinity Stone, like Peter Quill, nearly killed him, right? He had to have Gamora, Drax, and Rocket kind of help manage that stone. But obviously you can do this. Why? I don't know. So, putting that all aside, it closes a good chapter on these 10 plus years for Marvel. So I'm happy the way things are. I will go back and watch this again, knowing that there is no post-credit scene. I don't have to stick around for that end. But the other thing too is that a lot of it they mention, like with not interacting with stuff in the past or things of that nature, pretty much everyone did on some level interact with certain events. So the biggest one, which is not necessarily an issue, but it's just more like, but wait a minute, and that has to deal with Loki. The Tesseract case was available, and he picks it up from the events from the first movie. And then he kind of opens up the portal, and off he goes. So does that mean the events unfolded the exact same way as was done in the movies? I can't answer that because it was never addressed. So I don't know. I really don't know what to make of this. The other thing was, how much of a role will Captain Marvel play? Honestly, not that big of a role that I thought it would be. At least not to the point where, if you look at the interviews that, like specifically Entertainment Tonight, that Brie Larson did with Don Cheadle and Chris Hemsworth, in which they were kind of talking about things that were going on in the movie and their relationship and whatever. It just seemed very awkward and kind of like unsettling, like things that happened on the set. They felt kind of slighted against Brie, and I don't understand the fuss, since now that I know the results, what's on the screen, except for like what, 2 or 3 moments in which she does interact with people from the MCU. That's about it. So I don't understand where the guys are coming from that point of view. So I do want to go further and find out what the hell's going on with that. Now, again, it wraps up perfectly with setting up things for the Hawkeye movie, for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't know what's going to happen with Scarlet and Vision, since there is no Infinity Stone for Vision. I don't know how that's going to be. And the Black Widow movie. She's now, spoilers, dead, so to speak. Is the Black Widow movie going to be prior to the events in all the Avenger movies? I thought that Captain America would have gone to Boromir and switched out and killed himself in order to take the place of Black Widow. And I thought that's who she would be, or was at the very end, was going to be. And it comes back. I'm like, oh, I would have been okay with that. Perfectly fine with the fact that Cap got married. He's aged. He has a life with Peggy Carter, which is phenomenal. More than happy with that. So I'm glad that I got to see this weekend and been part of this big history for Marvel to have come all this way in a short amount of time. And for this one movie this weekend to make over $1 billion is just an incredible feat for all that are involved with this. So, as for the future, that one shot with all the female superheroes. You had Mantis, you had Wasp, you had Valkyrie, you had Captain Marvel. And yet no one ever even says her name either. There's like, I like her, but they don't say her name. No one ever says Captain Marvel. I don't understand that. So if there's going to be an A-Force team, oh my God, let that be A-Force happen. I definitely want to see that. So yeah, I'm happy that it's finally done. Take a sigh of breath now and not worry about what will happen, since I know what has happened. So I'm going to listen to Mr. Gene's comments, because he saw this the day before, almost around the exact same time, and I wanted him to record his thoughts. Now, it may not be very long, but I do want to hear his point, and that's what you're going to be hearing next on the podcast. So you hear my point, and now you're going to hear his. So I'm going to take a quick break and then switch to his audio. And after that, I'll come back at the end.
This is Mr. Gene. The time is now April 27th at 12:50 p.m. Saturday. And I've just seen the Avengers Endgame movie. And wow, I'm kind of blown away. And yet my analytical mind tells me, take it easy. You've been through a lot. You got to digest it. The movie is a roller coaster. It takes you on its way, and there's no way off. You're down for 3 hours and 2 minutes of just this whirlwind story where you follow the characters you've been following for the past 11 years, 21 movies, and here you are. And wow, there's growth, there's development, there's some shocks here and there, but it's all linear, and everyone's in the mix. So wonderful job, and yeah, gonna have to digest. Don't want to spoil anything now, but wow, it's a nice setup. It's a nice tribute for the past into the future. It's a nice glass raising. Everyone gets a moment, and pretty good balance. So anyway, we'll talk about it, I'm sure, together with the monster, and everything will be great. And all the best. Thanks very much.
All right, so I just finished watching this about an hour or so. Yeah. Sorry about it.
Did you change your pants yet?
Huh?
Did you change your pants yet?
I was really pissed that I'm like, wait, I waited? I could have gone to the bathroom.
No, you waited the end. There's no end. There's nothing.
There's nothing.
You didn't read the articles? Yeah, the
I didn't want to
soundbite.
read anything. I didn't want to read anything. Do we hear like this banging, like someone like the Iron Man thing?
Right, reminiscent to the first Iron Man song.
Right. So that's what I'm thinking. That's whatever that is. All right. So I haven't listened to yours, but I did record my reaction. I'll listen to yours.
Spoiler free.
Yeah.
I tried to sound like Doc Brown, I think. I was like, okay, today is April 20th. The time Einstein's clock is running. Okay, go ahead. I thought that was appropriate. I was like, all right. You're going to make it Back to the Future in your movie? Fine.
Right.
For you.
Right, exactly. So they made a perfect reference to that. And to kind of go to the point that you were talking about, I think that is the very thing that I'm like, we're basing time travel, right? We're making this up as we go along anyway. That you're not supposed to interact with yourself. You're not supposed to do anything to screw up with the timeline. But yet, that's what happened.
That's exactly what happens. Like, when we mentioned that movie, so we're going to break all those rules, and you're going to be fine with that, because it's not going to make any sense, because you're too high right now watching this movie and seeing us all together. It's not going to make any sense.
Right, and I'm like...
You're like, I don't care. They're all together. It's awesome.
It is. I mean, it does exactly what it needs to do, and I was not expecting some things. I'm like, oh my god.
We're doing the spoiler alert thing, and then let's talk about it.
Oh, well, it's already spoiler. So, but people are, were definitely crying. I heard the sobs. And I mean, I was
participate in them.
During the moment when they go back to the 70s with Tony and what's his name?
Dad.
And his dad and the Peggy Carter again. So I'm like, it really tugged at a lot of heartstrings for me. I mean, it ended beautifully, and yes, there are many issues that I would have with that, aside from the time travel aspect.
Yeah, I was less like, Captain America holding Mjolnir? Okay, I'll give it to you. But the fact that Thor pulls it out of Dark World, which is like, we're going back to Dark World because no one liked this movie. We're going to make this again.
So
the lowest number film.
Right. So it's like, now you have to make Dark World part of your MCU to watch it in order to get that reference, to see what happens. And
Renee Russo has more lines in this movie than she did in the Dark World.
And she's fantastic. She's fantastic, Or
she is.
More so than like Natalie Portman, Jane Foster having just like, all right, Jane, I just need you to get out of bed. All right, we're done.
Who's there? Who showed up for this? I was like, was she really there? Did they steal that from the? Oh no, she was at the premiere. Okay, so she was there.
I mean, seriously, that's all you need to do. Just get out of bed, and Rocket's gonna follow you and tap that ass.
Yeah, Rocket's gonna follow you off the screen, and then later on, I got it. Like, wait, how? No, but okay.
Yeah, because then, like we said, that screws up the timeline for everything. It's all screwed up.
Got Mjolnir back in the middle of his movie. I'm like, wait, you're gonna need that. The you in the previous timeline is gonna need that. And I get that we set Captain America back with the keys to like his head, but I'm like, no, that doesn't. We have to get the chalkboard out and brew the coffee and figure this out.
Let's start off with the things that you liked. Start with that.
I was just happy to be there. The thing I liked about it was that it was its own complete thing. Sure, you were down about the Infinity War last year, but now it's been 2 days. Let's go kill Thanos.
Yeah.
Really bad about this. I loved it. I loved the way that Tony Stark is rescued, the way that he humanizes Nebula for that opening scene that he has. It's not the opening scene. That's Clint Barton and his family. And when he turns to death, my audience gasped. And I'm like, no, this is what we're here for. You're going to gasp now?
Yeah.
3 more hours of this. Come on. Stay with me.
So he goes rogue from that point on because he starts losing his family. So he goes dark and becomes Ronan, this new character.
I love so much about this. From Tony Stark in the wheelchair,
Just with the IV.
Oh my God. How
So
messy.
angry.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, he's barely alive, but he's holding on to that anger so much. I was like, that's the last will that is leaving him just like spit in, in his eye. Just like, I told you, I needed to have this, the suit of armor around the world, and you said, no, we'll do this together.
Yeah, together, right. Where were you? Your argument isn't moved. We're all dead. The world is dead. What are you, okay?
Yeah. And then he passes out. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. But,
and they kill Thanos, and then the creepy thing shows up 5, wait for it, years later.
Like, come on.
4? What are we doing now?
You could have shaved maybe, 30 seconds from that, so there'd been a minute, 3 hours and 1 minute and 30 seconds, not 2 minutes, Just kind of speed up that title card.
And then to me, the fact that all of it starts because of a rat in Paul's little van. They just have like, oh, of course, because this is a Disney movie. This shit only happens in a Disney movie.
So Ratatouille saves the world.
Started the event. But it was a roller coaster, and I knew, like, okay, the lap bars come down. I'm here for 3 hours and 2 minutes. Let's go. And they took me on a great trip. I was entertained every single moment, and even though some people may say it's boring, it was all character development. The characters that would later grow, and you're like, oh, this is fine. I love this. These are my people for the past 11 years. I'm so happy to spend more time with you guys. So.
Especially for, which may be the very last time for many of them. Which
I don't know. Tony Stark can easily come back as a hologram.
Right. And we kind of speculated that, because of, in the comics, there is a new Iron Man or Iron person, Iron Woman. Her name is...
Ray Williams, really?
Right. Ironheart. And he could be the AI, like Jarvis was, for the suit. So, sure, why not? We can do that. But I did appreciate, for me, that one moment to see all the female superheroes together.
Oh,
you had Valkyrie, Wasp.
Except Black Widow. She wasn't there, but,
We'll talk about that in a moment, because I have interest.
That moment was amazing.
Yeah, so it was just like, thank you. I'm so happy to see a potential of what's going to happen down the future, and I hope they do stick that landing.
Where's the poster for this?
I don't know. My only qualm, and I talked about this earlier, and you haven't seen the videos yet, about the whole Brie Larson interview thing that she had with Don Cheadle and Chris Hemsworth. And from what I watched in the movies to what their reactions were, during that interview, it just seems kind of awkward. It wasn't as if, because I was telling Jen, like, where the hell is Captain Marvel in all this? She's done the very beginning, and you don't see her to the very end.
Right.
So it's not as if it's like she is like saving everyone's asses. She gets her ass.
But she tells you, like, there's more planets on in this universe than the Earth. And I'm this cosmically powered being. I can't be it. But if you need me, just let me know. I'll save you in your dark moment and then disappear.
No, I know. And she gets the haircut, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, which I liked it. I liked the haircut. I'm like, that looks awesome.
So,
are you attracted to lesbian women? I don't know.
It to me, it doesn't necessarily fix the problems I have with Captain Marvel. It doesn't. It
doesn't make them worse.
No, it doesn't make it worse. But then again, having found out that Endgame was shot first and then Captain Marvel was done, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So
you still didn't know who this character was. And to me, it still feels like the exact same way that you still don't know who she is. Don't even say her name, Carol or Captain Marvel. Don't say anything. But
she just shows up.
Yeah, she just shows up. I'm like, okay.
Drops the ship. Okay, suddenly you're in the team. You're fine. You go there to help the kill Thanos, then you disappear for another 5 years. Then you show up later on. It's whatever, fine.
So
you were so invested in everything else. Didn't matter. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's like, someone tapped into the pager again and got her attention.
Yeah.
I don't know. So again, from the time travel aspect, which, you know, screws up
We
everything.
have problems with.
The big thing that really bugs me more than anything else is that, oh, now we can touch the Infinity Stone. What the fuck? Hulk is holding
no.
it. Yes.
I mean,
Hulk is
the Hulk
holding
holds it and it burns him up.
No. When I forgot her name, the ancient one, gives up
Right.
the time stone to Hulk. He holds it in his hand. It's not as if it's burning him or anything like that. It's nothing. The thing with Rocket, he has the ether in a container. I guess that. But Tony is holding the Tesseract in his hand, or at least in his armor suit. It's getting kind of questionable on that end. So it was just that was the thing that was bugging me, right? And how did Hawkeye come back with the stone? I mean, sure, you know, Black Widow got killed for it and whatever, but I don't remember him having a container. So it was just like a sake of convenience. Now this is not a thing. That before, if you have Peter Quill, who is half celestial,
he was at the time, right? He's no longer that to create a Guardian.
He's holding that stone and he's barely containing it. I'm like, okay, I get that. It's a powerful thing. But now it's just like, really? We're not addressing that anymore.
Right, we're sonic screwdrivering it. And then the plot needed us to be able to hold it, so suddenly we can hold it.
Right.
You know, but at least I mean, I think the thing is, it's once it touches your skin or whatever, it is whatever your will is. If you're going to use it, you know, like that poor girl in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 who tried to free your sister, you know, she has a desire to destroy the Collector. She's thinking that. She's angry, and she puts that into her thoughts, touches the stone, and then it burns her up. But I think if you're holding it, it's like, okay, I'm powerful, don't shake me. It's like nitroglycerin, don't think anything, just...
That's the only qualm, because it wasn't really established that if it has a negative reaction to it, then sure, that's what happens.
But I like the way that they stayed with their rules for a bit, but, you know, that Tony Stark looks at Dr. Strange and says, is this the one? Do we run this way? It's like, can't tell you that. You know, and then moments later he's grabbing the stones off the Infinity Gauntlet, and his gauntlet, and he uses it, and it kills him. You know, like, I know you're going to die. I can't tell you, but you're going to make this amazing sacrifice. And you're not thinking about anything else except saving half the universe. You're not thinking about yourself. You know, when the Hulk uses the Infinity Gauntlet, he says, don't change anything, just 5 years, bring everyone back. But don't change anything. I want my daughter Morgan to be okay. You know, it's like, okay, I got it. And he does that. He gets hurt a little bit, burns half his body, but then Tony doesn't. It completely, you know, he's got seconds to live. And then it's like Peter Parker's going to say, there's a hug in, Pepper Potts is nearby, like, no, I get the final scene with him. Get out of the way.
Yeah. Which I was happy to see her in the Iron Man suit. So happy.
My one question was at the funeral, there was a kid standing at the funeral, and that's the mechanics of Iron Man 3. It took me a while to get that. I watched a few YouTube videos.
Really?
That's who that is. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he was originally the kid on the bike that when Paul Rudd's like, hey, what's going on? 5 years later, I don't know if that's him, but the kid at the funeral.
Yeah, but it would have made it like there was no importance to that character, other than I don't know who you are and I'm going to run away.
Yeah. My question is, was Maria Hill at the funeral? I didn't see her.
She was.
Watched again. Okay.
No, she was. So before
we're all standing in our own franchises, so Cameron's got to pan back and forth a few times.
Yeah. So again, you know, we're not going to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
No.
But
it's a happy experience.
It would have been nice from last season, because there was a mention of Thanos is coming, and that if the characters started to disappear like stuff happening around the world, I would have been more than happy with that series to at least acknowledge the events happening from the MCU to the TV version. Nah.
Sorry, you just have to be happy with Agent Sitwell showing up again.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
That's all you got from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Sitwell. But Robert
And
Redford comes back.
Yes.
Michael Douglas. I was just like, oh my god, everyone is coming back.
Yeah. So it does everything. It crosses all the T's and dots all the I's. I'm like, it's a lovely homage to everything that you've watched over the years, coming back for one more time, and it's done very well. So aside from all the little problems, let me go back to not a problem, but one of the best things that I love is Thor just losing his
belly,
more muscles, has got big gut. Oh my god. At one point, they're trying to come up with plans for where to get the stones, and he's like asleep in the corner with his hand down his pants, and I'm like,
yeah. No, I love Rocket's way of getting him on the planet. We got Pierre on the ship. I'm like, okay, it's perfect.
oh.
I love the way he was so unfocused and so drunk for so long. He's trying to explain things to them. From the dark world, they're like, yeah, I don't care about this. He's doing it really badly. Like, Jane was my girl.
It doesn't make a difference. We're not dating anymore.
Oh, but what a love letter. What a great tribute. And so fitting, so perfect. Just wonderful.
Yeah. So, with all the little problems that we had, it was still really well worth the time that you have to invest over the years that we've done, with Marvel since Iron Man. And the only thing that I was kind of half expecting that, if Captain America is going back to put back the Infinity Stones, that he would have, for the Soul Stone, switched so that he would have been in Black Widow's place. Wow. And that she would have been at the end of the lake or whatever. But
have you even thought about that? So he shows up on Voldemort or wherever it is, and he's there, and then the Red Skull shows up, he's like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Right. That would have been interesting. But they didn't play it out.
But the thing is, he couldn't switch out because the thing is, you have to go together. You have to go with someone else.
I know. I get it. But the problem lies then, we're supposed to get a Black Widow movie. So is this taking place before she dies, obviously? Wanda and Vision, there's no Vision, so how is that going to play?
I thought about that too. I was like, he's not even in the movie. What's up?
Right. Now, the other side kind of stuff that I was just like, wait a minute. With all the timelines they're screwing up, Loki holds on to the time Tesseract.
Right. Loki's still alive.
Right. So that means he's still around.
Mm-hmm.
Because he never got back to Asgard, he got to prison. None of that happened.
Right. But he did, somehow. If we can figure out the time travel equation.
Yeah.
We're not going to do today.
I don't know how that's going to work out. But whatever.
Right now you're just in awe. You're just happy. You've eaten a good meal. You know what I mean?
Oh. Yeah.
It's about this.
My daughter is still a mess, from crying. It was just because all of us wanted to go see this, and we just had the greatest time with this. But my God, I had no idea how this was all going to play out, let alone that, all right, fine, we're going to be doing something with the quantum level, which I kind of suspected that was going to happen. But I start doing the time travel, which I'm like, this is a little kind of crappy. But the fact that now Thanos knows about what's going to happen in the future, that's the new twist that I was just like, oh.
Which was clever. It was clever because Nebula's Wi-Fi in her head. I didn't see that coming. It's a small point, but it's a detail even the writer part of me would go, no, that works. That works fine.
Yeah, it does.
It's not convoluted at all. It's like, all right, no, that's fine.
And then you set up for a showdown that you've never seen before. I mean, it's fantastic.
Everybody.
Yeah. So, although the one person I'm like, well, what can Mantis do? Other than put people to sleep, I don't see her really fighting people. So I was kind of worried about her.
Well, the whole Guardians don't do very much at all. except show up at the funeral of Drax. I don't think he has a line of dialogue in the movie.
Yeah,
He's just
but,
there
you know,
because, like,
only
even
that
bad mouthing the whole James Gunn thing. We're not sure there's going to be a sequel yet, so let's just take your entire team and put them over here to the side. You're here, but you don't get to do anything cool.
Yeah. Now, here's the question for you. Is Gamora dead? Like, wiped out?
No, she's clearly not. At the end, Peter Quill's searching for her. So, remember, it's a younger Gamora.
Right.
It's the Gamora that meets him before she meets him.
I know. But I'm wondering, because everything that is surrounding Thanos, because of Iron Man, he could have killed. Because he wiped out everything, right, with the Infinity Stone. So I'm wondering, because she's the daughter of, so to speak, that she might have been also wiped away. So, I don't know. That was my
You're thinking too hard.
I know.
You can't have a Guardians movie without her. You're thinking way too hard about this.
Well, hopefully the third one will kind of go back
It'll be different. It'll be just like they never met, which they haven't, so it's fine.
But you work on that element that how they fell in love, but pay off. Whereas in the second movie, you know, you have something you're alluding to, but then you don't feel that in the Infinity War when he finds out that Gamora is dead. You know, I don't feel that love that he has for her. I mean, yeah, it's there, but just something a little bit more to kind of tweak it, and it would have been better. But
no, but you remember also that she asked him like for the favor of killing her. You know,
I know.
For the most powerful warrior in the Marvel universe, supposedly, which we haven't seen yet. That's a big thing. It's a big ask. So you get that. Okay, she cares about him.
Yeah.
You know.
So.
But I don't know. Go ahead.
I think after all this, you know, and we're going to get a Disney Plus streaming in a couple of months, and then all the MCU properties will be coming. I'm okay not to see anything on the big screen for a while, other than we are going to get, you know, Spider-Man Homecoming, and then we're done with Phase 3. I think after that, I think they can afford to take a year or two off. You know,
I think so too.
That the groundswell build up again before announcing anything bigger. So here's my question. Who would you want to see as the next big bad? Or we just focus on different team-ups and smaller stories and not worry about the big threat?
They can do whatever they choose to do at this point. They can go into the Disney archives and release the Shang-Lu, whatever, the karate guy, because it doesn't matter now. They're at an end point now, and it's well deserved. We'll give them a year, maybe two, to rest, because we love this. I mean, Captain America wasn't even a good movie, and it made $1 billion based on the strength of Avengers Endgame, basically riding the tails of that. Ant-Man the Wasp should have done that, but it wasn't able to do that for some reason.
Right.
But it was phenomenal. It was just, you know, this just going to break all these records, and it's going to topple maybe Avatar, I hope, in the next few weeks, and it's just going to keep going.
I don't think it's be next few weeks. I think by next weekend, it will reach at least $2 billion, and it's done. You know, I think it'll be that close. And then in another week's time. But right now, it pulls in over $1 billion this weekend.
I know, that's insane. People are thinking maybe $100 million, $300 million. No, it's done that. It's triple that. So,
why do billions when you can do millions?
Yes.
All right.
But still wonderful. Just a great time.
Yeah. So now it's just a matter of whenever we get together, I would like to see this with you again and plan out for 3 hours. That's going to be hard with our schedule, at least for mine.
Well, we can figure it out. It's a great time. It's a fun time. We haven't had this kind of release cinematically since, you know, Star Wars, and Star Wars wasn't that great last time. I don't remember this feeling for a long time.
No, and this one is kind of like the culmination of years invested had this big payoff, and it wasn't cheapened. Well, in certain aspects, just for the sake of story, you just go like, oh, this is what's going to happen. Screw it. But it delivers everything that you've loved about the movies. It delivers everything that you love about these characters and give them a beautiful way of having their moments to shine. I mean, you know, having Tony embrace, you know, Peter again was touching. It's like, oh, we're doing this? Oh, okay. Sure, I feel okay.
Yeah. It's a hug. It's like, oh, this feels good. You know?
You know, or having Captain America at the end, you know, finally getting with Peggy Carter, you know, and they're dancing together. That dance that he's been wanting to have for 70 plus years, he finally gets to have that with her, and he has a life with her, you know. So it's nice for that to happen. And then, you know, Thor has to just go to UFed and get his gut back in shape. And,
no, I think they're going to keep that for a while.
Really?
You know, put on the fat suit. I think in Guardians 3 is still going to be fat.
I would love to see how they're going to do the action figures. Are they going to do a fat Thor?
No, they can't. They can't. But if they did, it'd be hysterical.
It would be. I would buy it in a heartbeat to see a fat Thor.
You say that, but I don't think Marvel Legends is going to do that. It'll be an SH Figure Arts thing. It'll cost 3 times as much.
I mean,
it'll be hysterical.
The accessories of beers and wines, you know, on a little package, or his hands down his pants, you know, fun stuff.
Yeah. But I'm glad you enjoyed it, Monty. I'm glad you had this time with your family to just relax and laugh
and recover.
It was, because you've earned it. You deserve this. It was so much fun.
It is. And I'm glad, you know, the Russo brothers did what they did, and, you know, they're done.
And one of the Russo brothers was in the movie as the first survivor. Talking to
I noticed. I'm like, wait a minute, wow. I knew that guy.
I was like, is that? Okay. Got to make sure. Went on YouTube. Yeah, it's him. I'm like, wow. Okay, cool.
So now I'm going to go edit this podcast and then go look at the other reviews and see how many fans either support this or really hate the female aspect of it, because I'm sure there's going to be plenty of haters. But I don't think it's going to be as prolific as they were against Rose from The Last Jedi or Rey from Force Awakens and such. But there's something for everybody. So there should not be a complaint like, oh my God, like Captain Marvel saved everyone's ass at the last minute and it's a woman thing. I'm like, no, it wasn't a woman thing. It was a whole team thing. So, but in any case. All right, so this is going to be the end of our podcast. And as always, you can follow me on the social network. You can always email us at my email at monster55show@gmail.com. So, Dean, thank you again for being on the podcast.
A pleasure.
All right. So, on that note, thank you for listening to the Monster Sci-Fi Show podcast. It's sci-fi from a certain point of view. Good night.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping through Amazon.com or the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.